It's still
So I don't
not.
fully understand the errors.
Today's lesson is on errors, Kumail. Don't worry. There are five people logged in: Yusuf, Ahmed, Kumail,
Who said I don't know?
Ellie, Shahir. Ellie, you're not logged in.
Miss, wait. Wallah, I'm opening it with my. So I will leave this live and I will enter from my laptop, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 minute.
So this is an exam.
It is not an exam.
What? Wow. Yes.
Basically, what this does is it gives me an idea as to your
So it's not marked.
interaction in class. This is, when I ask questions and when you answer me. Shahir, your answer is still not up on the board. Shahir, what happened?
So is it marked?
Kind of.
Miss,
For
the
class
new pod,
interaction.
Mr. It's a test.
Yeah, in your pod, Shahir.
they only gave me one slide.
See, right now it is on. It says.
What is this?
Miss, I forgot to write my second name.
Who was that?
Ahmed.
Ahmed, it's okay. I have Ahmed Nasir Elbas. So the other Ahmed is Ahmed Jamal only.
Miss, Wallah, it's not working. It's lagging. I don't know why.
Are you having a
Shut
lot
up.
of tabs open? I want only the meet tab and this tab open. Okay?
Yeah, Miss, I'm closing all of them now.
I see that somebody is doing it.
Miss, what is this?
Harna.
Miss, what is this?
Do it.
Elite match the one with one, but
What do you mean? Miss, Wallah, Miss, I didn't understand the question.
click two, and it will match two.
I see that you've already done something. You've tried once. So you
Miss,
basically
Wallah,
know.
I don't know what I do. Wallah, I don't know what I do.
Ellie, you know that what you've done is a little bit wrong. You don't want that mistake on your record.
miss.
And so you go
Wallah.
like, I don't know what to do. I'm not going to accept that.
Wallah,
Finish
Wallah,
the work. Finish it.
Miss, it's easy, but Wallah, I just understand it. Wallah.
Good. Now that you've understood it, go ahead and do it.
Ahmad. Easy.
Finished?
Are we even gonna use the workbook?
Well done for tries.
Are we even gonna use the workbook?
Yeah, we will be
Miss, I
using the
finished?
Yeah, you finished. Now, these are the pairs. These are the correct answers. When Ellie bought a machine for dirhams 20,000 from Kuwait and did not pay for it, the machinery is debited and Kuwait is credited. Why? Because he did not pay the money to Kuwait. Then Shahir entered dirhams 300 paid by Ahmed wrongly in Ahmed's account. Now, as you can see, one Ahmed is MED and the other Ahmed is MAD, right? So this basically has to be corrected. Ahmed is wrongly credited, right? So now when you debit Ahmed,
We debited.
yeah, the credit and the debit gets cancelled. And then in the credit line, you have to enter Ahmed. We'll be looking into this in detail in today's class. Okay. Then Ihab sold some old equipment for dirhams 2000 to Yusuf on credit, which means Yusuf has not paid the money to Ihab. So in the debit line you have Yusuf and credit line you have equipment because the asset is going out as it is being credited. Simple. Very, very simple.
So easy, Wallah.
Miss, so easy, miss.
Go to the Meets screen.
Yes.
What, Miss?
The Meets, Google Meets.
Yes, I'm here.
You're there in that one?
No, Miss.
Come to the Meets tab. Google Meets.
ارجع لجوجل ميت ارجع للميت.
Yeah, Miss, I'm in the meet.
Okay, good. Now that you're in the Meets, you will see this. Are you seeing my board? Which
Yes.
says journals objective to be able to
Yes.
make journal entries in the correct format, post entries from journal to ledger.
Yes.
Okay, now this is the answer for July 14 question number 1 and this is the way it goes. Basically what has happened is on the 14th of July when Williams. Now, it was noticed that the bookkeeper had made a mistake when recording the sale of goods 780 on credit to T.M. Williams. Okay, so they made a sales to T.M. Williams. So
Yeah.
basically, what should have been done? What is the correct entry which should have been done in T.M. Williams' account? Right? Over here on July 14, it should have been written
Sales account.
sales 780. Are you with me? This
Yes.
account,
Yes, miss.
Yeah,
this is the account which should have been made in the ledger account, but instead the bookkeeper made the entry in T. Williams July 14 sales account. Did you get that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's wrong entry.
It's a wrong entry. Now
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
how do we correct this entry? If I want to correct this entry, I
Double
have to
entry.
make a credit entry in
Yeah.
T Williams. And how do I make the credit entry? I make the credit entry as TM Williams 780, and in TM Williams, if you see July 14 T Williams 780, I am debiting. Why am I not debiting sales over here? Because in the sales account, correctly on the credit side, it is written T Williams. The name is wrong. Okay, the name is wrong, but I'm not going to be correcting this because double entry wise this is correct, the numbers and everything is correct. It says T Williams, so when I go to T Williams account to check this, I see sales 780, but at the same time I will see a credit entry TM Williams over here. So this will tell me, oh, there's been a mistake. So when I see TM Williams, I will look at this entry. Do you get it? So I'm
No,
not.
what is this?
Who was that? What is this? Ellie? Concentrate, Ellie.
This confused me, wallah.
It is not confusing, Ellie. Sit and think clearly. Empty your mind of all the other distractions which you're having over there, whatever it is, and think, what did you do which was wrong? Because people do make mistakes. It's not like everybody is perfect. Okay?
Yes.
The immediately as soon as you see something new, you're not expected to understand it like the way we did that matching. That's why I made you do it. As soon as you saw that, it's not like as if you know, oh, what I need to do this. No, you've got to do a little bit, figure out things, make a few mistakes, then understand, okay, this is the way it is done, and then you go ahead and do the correct thing. Understood? Now, what is happening here is T. Williams is wrongly debited with sales, but the sales account has been correctly credited with T. Williams. The account but is wrong, but I cannot make any entry on the sales again, because if I do that, then I'll be messing my book of account. So instead, what do? I make the correction within T. Williams and T. M. Williams itself. When I credit T. Williams with T. M. Williams, automatically these two get cancelled. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, miss.
And then when I make this entry here on July 14 for T. Williams 780, automatically the sales entry is recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So this account will now have a balance brought down,
Yes.
which it should. Did you get it? That's all.
Yes, miss.
And
Yeah,
this one, how is it that we write it in the form of a journal entry? In the journal, we write T. M. Williams on the debit column and T. Williams in the credit column, and that's how we correct it. Yes,
So got this one wrong. Miss.
Yeah, Kumail, the mistake you made was both you
It's
wrote
not me.
T. Williams and
It's
T.
Jamal, miss. That's what she said.
Both T. Williams, T. Williams you wrote. That's why. Okay? So, you need to identify which account is to be debited and which account is to be credited. You're
They
crediting.
even mentioned in the question. They've told you what's the mistake.
Yes. So, you just have to put them in the correct line. T. M. Williams is debited and T. Williams is credited. That's all. What you need to do is you have to practice a little bit more, and the more you practice, you will get it. Then, the next one is transferring the balances. This is very, very simple. Now, let's take the purchases account. everybody knows how to do the purchases account. You know that
Yeah.
on the debit side, when you have a purchase, either by cash or on credit, you will write cash account and you will write the amount, and then whomever you purchased it, you write the creditor's name and you write the account, sorry, amount, right? And then in the end of the month, you are totaling the debit side. In the credit side, are we having anything? Actually, no. Till
No.
July 31, we are not having anything on the credit side. On the debit side, when you total, in this problem, they say that the total is 156,000. Okay? This 156,000, usually, so far, what you've done is you've done balance carry down and you bring down the balance here on the debit side. Correct?
Yes.
But now, when you are going to do your final accounts, that is when you sit and you think, okay, at the end of this month, I want to know how much profit or loss I have made. Okay, when you come to that level, what you do is you are not going to balance and bring down the balance, you're going to close that account over there. So when you how do you close that account? You close it by transferring the balance to the income statement. Are you with me?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you transfer the balance to the income statement. So when you the way you do that is, instead of writing balance carried down, you will write income statement. Okay? And
Mm.
you are able to do that because you make this journal entry here. Income statement obviously is debited and purchases account is credited. As you can see, purchases account, in the account, in which side are you writing income statement? On the debit or credit?
Credit.
Credit.
Credit. So obviously in the journal you will write the purchases
On the
account
credit.
on the credit
On
line.
the debit.
Income statement in the debit
No.
line and purchases on the credit line.
Yes, yes.
Okay? Fine.
Yes.
Shahir, did you get this?
Yes, miss.
Miss,
Okay,
Miss,
Shahir.
can you please upload this as a reference so we can go back if you want to revise?
Yes, I will be uploading this. Just give me 30 minutes after the lesson, and by the time this will be
Take
uploaded.
1 week, Miss.
LA, no. Don't give me so much of time. Now, this is illustration 5 on page number 106, and this is your last part of the journals. Now, what is happening here is, as you will see, when a new business starts up and the books of accounts are opened for the first time, a journal entry is used to record the starting position in the assets, liabilities, and capital accounts. This situation occurs only once in the lifetime of any business. Okay? Now, on 1st January, the details which they have given is bank account 55,000, vehicles 43,000, bank loan 20,000, and capital 78,000. Look at the entries which I have made here on your screen. You can see the date is 2018 Jan 1. The details, bank and vehicle, I have put on the debit. Earlier, you have looked into transactions where you had only one entry in the debit line and one entry on the credit line, right? But
Yeah.
that is not the, that is not the only way you write journals. There are journals where you will have two debit entries and one credit entry, or you will have three debit entries and one credit entry, or like this, you have two debit entries, two credit entries, like that. It depends on the transaction which we are dealing with. Okay, in this case you're having two assets and two liabilities, therefore you're having like bank and vehicle on the two debit lines, and then you're having bank loan and capital, as you can see in the two credit lines are there. Now you should put the amounts correctly in the debit column and the credit column, and in the end you also should total. In your textbook it is not written, that is why I made it a point to write it over here. You have to total both the columns, and both the totals should be equal, 98,000, 98,000 in this case. Okay, and the narration being assets, liabilities, and capital recorded on Jan 1 2018. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Yes.
So easy.
Okay.
Not so easy, but it's easy. Inshallah, easy.
Now, what I want to do next is I want to discuss question 3 on page number 107. Do you all have your textbooks in front of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I also put this in as an activity on Nearpod. Mm, but since we are having problems, I will discuss this with you with my iPad till February 15. And then 18, 22, and 24, 28, we will go to the Nearpod, okay? Now, what is written here is during the month of February 2018, the following transactions occurred affecting the accounts of Rishi, a trader. Rishi maintains all 7 books of prime entry as part of his books of accounts. Recollect. What are the 7 books of prime entry? Go on. One by one. Since we're having 7 people in class, Ellie, let's go with you first. Give me one book of prime entry.
Mimas.
Yes, Ellie.
Sales ledger.
Sales journal.
Sales
Okay.
journal.
Enough. Now, not Ellie. Kumait, second one. Kumait.
Hello? Purchase journal.
Purchases. Okay. Shahir.
Sales return.
Sales returns. Yusuf.
Purchase returns.
Purchases returns. Ahmed. Nasser. Ahmed Nasser.
No idea.
Ahmed Nasser. We've got 4 books here. Come on.
We took it last time.
Exactly.
I don't remember last time.
What
Ahmed
was our lesson?
Hold on. Ahmed Jamal.
Miss Petty Cash Book.
Very good. See, petty cash book. Ahmed Nasser, one more turn. One more chance.
Um,
Come on, if there's petty cash book, there was something we did before the petty cash book. What was that?
before or after this?
Before petty cash book.
Something like this.
Which can I say it?
No. Let Ahmed Nasser try. Nasser. Waiting.
So,
Waiting.
okay.
Waiting. You even have the textbook in front of you. Cash book. Okay, who wants to take the last one?
Me.
Okay, go on.
Must be
My book. My book.
General Journal.
Journal.
General Journal. Okay.
Easy, the one that we studied.
Yes. Now, February 4th,
Easy.
received an invoice for goods for resale. LA. Where should this come?
What?
Received an invoice for goods for resale. In which book?
Question 3?
Question 3, February 4.
February. Oh, received an invoice for goods for resale.
Yeah.
So, so it's purchases.
No. Kumait, can you correct him?
Sales.
Guess what? Received an invoice for goods for resale.
Yeah, it is
Miss Inventory?
sales.
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 Sales. Yeah.
And
Can
okay.
I say the next one?
Okay, Kumait. Voucher showed the payment of travel expenses in cash. Go on, Kumait.
Miss, you
No,
skipped
you
one.
missed one.
Huh?
You skipped one.
7, February 7.
February 7. Oh, paid a trade payable by check.
So bank and the bank will be credited and the trade payable will be debited.
Yes, but in which book are we writing this? Are we writing it in the sales
which
journal,
book?
purchases journal, sales returns, purchases returns, PCB, cash book, journal? Which book?
Miss by check?
Yeah.
It should be the bank. Oh, wait. Wait. Purchases.
No. The
Miss,
first,
why?
it is your cash book bank column.
Oh,
Cash book,
Yeah.
bank column. Okay, Shahir, the next one. Voucher showed the payment of travel expenses in cash.
Petty cash book.
Very good, Shahir. Okay. Ahmed Nasser received a credit note from a trade payable for goods damaged in transit. This is a returns. So, where should it be?
Can I repeat?
Received a credit note from a trade payable for goods damaged in transit. Trade payable means this is a creditor. You made a
Can you slow down?
uh
Can you slow down a bit?
okay.
Don't you have your book?
Exactly. Don't you have your book?
Page 107.
Miss, can I answer?
Yes, Kumet, go on.
Miss, sales returns.
Is it sales returns or
Yes.
purchases returns?
Sales.
Sales.
Oh boy.
Miss purchases returns.
Okay, who was the person who said purchases
What you mean,
returns?
right?
Who said purchases returns?
Ahmed Nasser.
Ahmed
Ahmed
Nasser.
Jamal.
Why did
Jamal.
Ahmed Jamal or Ahmed
Anything.
Nasser? Ahmed Jamal, it was you, right?
Yes, Ahmed Jamal, I said.
Ahmed
Oh.
Jamal, sorry.
Ahmed Jamal, why did you say purchases returns? You're correct, Ahmed Jamal, but tell me, why did you say purchases returns? Please don't tell me it was a guess.
Miss, no, Miss, because Miss, those aren't sales, Miss, because these are goods that someone bought. So I thought that it would be purchase
How did you know that you bought it? What was the word there in the problem which gave you the hint?
Trade payable.
Very good, LA. Took you so long. The hint was there, trade payable. If it was a trade receivable, then it will be a sales returns. If it was a trade payable, it will be a purchases returns. Okay? Now, let me stop it here.